1, 2, 3, 4. I told you so. I told you. I told you so. I told you. Remember when I told you about 9/11? Remember when I told you about Building 7? Remember when I told you about the fluoride in the water? Yes, I did. Remember when I told you about the New World Order? Remember that? Remember when I told you about the chemtrails in the sky? Remember when I told you that NASA was full of lies? Remember when I told you about the ultra mind control? Well, I just want to say that I told you so, yeah. Remember when I told you about 432 hertz, that is, and what 440 can do to you? It hurts my ears. Remember when I told you about the vaccine agenda? Yes, I did. And that Michelle Obama is a transgender. Yes, he is. The dinosaur fraud, the climate change scam, and yes, Sandra Bullock is also a man. Remember when I told you that there ain't no globe? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. 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 Yeah. Remember when I told you about the TV flicker rate? And how it puts your brain in an alpha state? Remember when I told you about germ theory? Remember when I told you about gravity? Remember that? Remember when I told you about Paul McCartney? Remember when I told you about direct energy? Remember when I told you about Monsanto? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. 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 Yeah. Remember when I told you about the mainstream media? Your so-called celebrities and pedophilia. Remember that child trafficking and adrenochrome. Remember when I told you about the Georgia Guidestone? Remember when I told you about the false flag operation? Remember when I told you about 5G radiation? Remember that I told you that? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. 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 Yeah. But you didn't listen. I told you so. I told you so.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers. Because this was an insurgency,
Hundreds
folks.
dead. Thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are. All right. Hope you patriots out there kicking ass and taking names. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, folks, to PatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot, coming to you live from the Wolf Den, folks, man. The censorship is in full freaking effect. They tried to zap us on Rumble. Yes, I had to work some magic behind I always have a plan A and a plan B for every single platform I'm on. Just comes from 7 years of them trying to shut us down at every fashion, technology, glip, whatever, algorithm, Truth Finder, AI. They go through the browsers. They can do anything they want. It's all a game. It's all a game of getting the truth out. Most people don't have to play the game because they ain't telling the truth. There's a nugget there, by the way, if you didn't figure that one out. Let us know where you're watching us from while I can still see you before they cut everything off. Alabama! Texas in the house. What's up, Arkansas? Jersey, right there. I see you. Good stuff, Newport, Kentucky. Louisiana's in the house. I already know. Oklahoma said, hey, don't forget about me. West Palm Beach, Florida said, how the hell are you? What's up, North Carolina? Woo-woo. Go Dogs. Georgia in that house. What's up, Florida? Alabama. Yes. Minnesota just checked in. Louisville, Kentucky said, what's up? England's in the house. Yes, Australia is in the house as well. Cool. Sarasota, Florida. North Carolina, South Carolina. What's up? Pennsylvania's in the house. Roswell, New Mexico's in the house. Utah's in the house. Oregon's in the house. Michigan in the house. Alabama in the house. Buffalo, freaking Texas is in the house. Pennsylvania's in the house. Man, Pennsylvania's representing tonight. New York just jumped in here. What's up? Saying there was a shooting at St. Jude in Tennessee. It must be in Memphis. I believe that's where it's located, if I'm not mistaken. Texas in the house. Good to have you. We'll check into that. Good stuff. Well, listen, this is where the cool cats go to get their daily intel, news, and bread. That's right. It's the PatriotPartyNews.com. Folks, we're more than just a website. We are a full-functioning, badassery Patriot Broadcasting Network, broadcasting around the world 24/7. Don't forget, you can always help us. If you want the truth out, you want us to continually broadcast at this level, I have to do this every show, gang, because they go up on our feeds. They're making it to where we're not able to do the things that the others can do because they don't want us getting our information out. They jack up our price. For 7 years, it's been this way. And guess what? 7 years, you awesome patriots have always helped us through the tough times, and also being able to allow us to demonstrate how good of a steward we are with your resources. Remember that. We're wrapping up the fourth quarter. And buddy, oh buddy, Hail Marys are being thrown left and right. Nobody can sit here and look you in the eye and tell you they know exactly what's going on, because they don't. However, come on over to Patriot Shoot, because guess what? We do. How would you like to know what's happening 2 to 3 days in advance? How would you like to get out of the propaganda machine called free social media? You do realize that's all government programs to track you, to read your thoughts through biometrics. You really think for products and services just to pop up on your news feed? Wrong answer. Come to Patriot Shoot. The algorithm stops at the door. We have a free trial going on right now. You get access to our state groups, get access to our voice chat platforms. You get access to the Q17 room, the Cabal room, the Humanitarian Projects room, the QFS room that's lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. But more importantly, you are an informed human being. You're not allowing them to program you and take advantage of you. You want true freedom? Come over to the Patriot Shoot. Free your mind. See what's really happening, what you don't know. Because there's still a vast majority of you that don't have a clue of what's happening right now. So just in case, obviously at skycompett.com, you want to go off grid with us? Tomorrow on the noon show, Mike's going to go through the functionality of this military grade. We've got access to. You click shop now, click the red PPM button. And when you do, you're going to see the radio pop up one day here. I've got to do it now. Anyway, it'll pop up eventually, but we're going to be going into detail about it. There it is. Thank you. Again, censorship at its finest. SK386C digital two-way and radio / satellite radio. Up to 3 feet of water, waterproof. Has a GPS component, can find the nearest cell phone tower because he has a universal SIM card, meaning it's not directly programmed to one certain machine. It goes through all carriers, all phones, meaning it can go through the cell phone towers. In a catastrophic event, if there were so many cell phone towers that were damaged or whatnot, it will GPS the nearest one to communicate through. It's pretty awesome. They do offer financing options. I would highly recommend checking into it. The number's on the website. Tomorrow, Mike's going to be going in detail through this. I think it's important, especially with his background. A lot of people don't understand his background being with emergency management and what's about to happen. Told you guys we're going to have the bases covered here at PPN. Some people thought it wasn't true. Some people didn't understand. Some people thought we were crazy. And if they're talking about me, they're talking about you too. Right? But it's happening, and we're here. We're here. Let's get into it. So, interesting here. Let me get this up on the screen. Donald J. Trump, this is a truth he put in effective August 1st, 2026. All generic drugs being brought into the United States will continue to have a tariff of 0% for a 2-year period of time, after which the tariff will be raised to 100% for 1-year period of time and 200% thereafter. This is done in order to reshore generic pharmaceutical production to America, with a penalty to those companies that decide to build a plant and equipment within the stated period of time given to them. The objective of this policy is to protect the people of the United States. The policy on patented, branded, and innovative drugs, which has been so successful, will remain as is. Pharmaceutical facilities are being built at a level never seen before all over the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Looks like Rumble's working now. They zapped you earlier on that. Yeah. Interesting there. Right? I'll tell you something else that's super interesting. Why in the hell was Bill Barr at Capitol Hill today, ladies and gentlemen? Answer me this. Listen to him.
Get the camera out of my face.
That was former Attorney General Bill Barr. You'll remember he served in the first Trump administration. I spotted him right outside the Capitol on the Senate side of the building. He didn't want to tell me why he was up on Capitol Hill. And as you just saw, he also didn't want to comment on President Trump's recent speech about election integrity. It was a brief interaction, but take a look at the full exchange. Mr. Attorney General, any reason you're up here today? Taking some meetings? Any thoughts on President Trump's recent comments about election integrity?
Please. Get the camera out of my face.
Remember, Bill Barr resigned from the Trump administration in December 2020. It was at the height of the efforts to overturn the 2020 election. After that election, Bill Barr had said he hadn't seen any election fraud that would have changed the results, going in contrast with what President Trump and his allies had been saying. Months later, Barr said that he told Trump that his claims of widespread election fraud were bullshit. But this time, when I spoke to Bill Barr, he didn't want to comment on the matter.
I wonder why. It's real party pooper. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Oh my goodness, right? Kinda cray. They're saying all kinds of stuff's breaking out everywhere. Here's another one. This is they're saying a third person dies amid the New York City Legionnaires outbreak. Officials are saying this is being reported from The Hill. Let's see. Hopefully, let's see if it'll even play it. May not. Yeah, well.
This weekend from complications with Legionnaire's disease that brings the total up to 3 people. Even still, the city says there's reason to believe that the threat of new infections is likely over.
It's one of these stories where it seems like it's not going to affect you, but then you're thinking, well, as I travel around the city throughout the day, I might be exposed to that kind of water.
A concern for New Yorkers and public health officials alike, especially with huge public spaces like museums. The Met, one of more than 70 buildings, ordered to undergo mandatory cleaning of its cooling towers this week after traces of Legionella bacteria were found.
It is a big concern, and if they say they're taking care of it, how well do we know that they're taking care of it?
The health department says they've been sending inspectors to every building that's had a positive case to make sure the cooling towers have been cleaned. They also say data shows a sustained decline in new cases, leading officials to believe the source of the outbreak has likely been eliminated.
I'm relieved to hear that the outbreak is contained.
The latest numbers show 74 people with confirmed cases, 8 of whom are hospitalized. 51 people have been discharged, and sadly, now 3 people have died.
It's definitely a huge concern, and I hope everyone is taking the right precautions, and I hope the city is doing what they need to do to keep us all safe.
Breathing in that bacteria can cause pneumonia, potentially deadly among younger and older people, as well as those with compromised immune systems. City Health Commissioner Dr. Alistair Martin on Pix 11 News last week.
What folks can do in the meantime is if they live in those 3 zip codes, 10028, 10128, or 10075, and they have things like cough, fever, shortness of breath, they have to go see a doctor and get evaluated because this is eminently treatable, and that's what the data is showing.
Yep. And then what they always say, that's what the data is showing. Real or fake? Is it propaganda? Real or fake? I'm going to say it. I think it's fake. More propaganda, creating fear, keeping people from going outdoors, right? Man, a lot of people are getting sick off of that lettuce stuff and Taco Bell stuff. It's very explosive. Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah, almost everything is propaganda. That's what Bill Coons is chiming in and saying. Yeah, I agree with that. I hate that. I hate to hear that. So, what's going on here? Peter Navarro's contempt of Congress conventions. Appeals court upholds White House advisors. Yeah, Peter Navarro's contempt of Congress convention convictions. Seems like that hasn't changed much, huh? Wonder why. Somebody said always explosive. And then if you go traveling, you better watch yourself, American. They're saying here, what was it? A man stabbed an American tourist near the Acropolis in Greece. I'll say it right one day. Check this out. Jesus.
Are investigating a rare stabbing near a popular tourist attraction. Police say 2 Americans were attacked by a 60-year-old man near the entrance to the Acropolis this morning. Both tourists were sent to nearby hospitals. Thankfully, they're expected to be okay.
The attacker was detained at the scene. One witness says that she heard people screaming as the violence unfolded.
And we just heard people screaming and a crowd running away. So we obviously took cover. And then I think a lady who must have seen everything because she was quite traumatized ran to where we were. And she said, no, there was a stabbing.
NBC News international correspondent Claudio Lavanga joining us now. He's following this from Rome. Claudio, luckily the victims are going to be okay here, but what do police know about a motive, if there was one, behind this attack?
Hey, Sam. Well, the police told NBC News that confirmed that this morning at 8 o'clock local time, a 60-year-old man, a Greek man, in front of the entrance of the Acropolis, and 8 o'clock in the morning is the time when the Acropolis archaeological site opens to the public. He attacked with a knife a Greek-American couple, a 53-year-old man and a 48-year-old woman. The police intervened immediately. They stopped and arrested the man, and they treated locally the couple while they waited for the ambulance to arrive. They said that the woman suffered a light injury to her leg, but the man seems to have suffered a more.
So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to create fear now for you not to travel? They want you to stay indoors. They don't want you traveling. Heaven forbid you go to another country and you might see that what we're seeing on TV is total bullshit. Can't kill us all because you got to have some of us for slaves, right? Think about that. Let's see here if I can pull this up. All right. There we go. Joe Biden mandated all new vehicles come installed with a kill switch. This Republican wants to repeal it. So check it out. Let's see here.
We have legislation that gets rid of the mandate that all new vehicles as of this year are required to have a kill switch installed in them. And if you don't know what a kill switch is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It kills your vehicle. The vehicle itself decides whether it appreciates and approves of your driving based on a series of algorithms, computer metrics, et cetera, about how it thinks you should be driving. And if you're not comporting with that, it shuts the vehicle off. I characterize this and couple it with a lot of other things. If you take a look and consider artificial intelligence with facial recognition software, with gait analysis, with the kill switch, with with central bank digital currency, that one of the major car companies just applied for patents to to monitor while you're driving your pupils, your aspirations, your breathing, your heart rate, your concentration.
You hear that?
Look, you know, Americans deserve their constitutional right to to their privacy and against unlawful search and seizure. And here again, if you agree that all those things should be happening, that's your business. But if you don't agree, you don't have that option. And so I think in America, this is headed down a road that we don't want to go, the road of increased censorship, and now coupled with your driving. And I've used a couple examples that I just kind of, you know, hypothetically came up with. And one I kind of know myself because my wife was pregnant at one time, and we did leave, you know, to go deliver the baby. And I can just tell you, as a guy that's had a pregnant wife, they're very intensively interested in getting to the hospital in a timely fashion. And you know, and I just picture somebody that you know, they're trying to get themselves to the hospital. Maybe they're you know, their husband or their, you know, the father of the child is not around, and they're driving differently than they have been in the past, and the car just shuts off. Or another circumstance that I've envisioned where some young lady or some ladies leaving a store or some establishment, and someone is following her, and she's scared, and she decides, well, I better get, I think I'm just going to go to the police station. I got to find the police station. So while you're driving, you're trying to look it up. Where is it? And the car decides you're driving erratically and shuts off. That's the worst time for the car to shut off. So we don't need the car being the judge, jury, and kill switch, which is what it's going to be. It was thrown in the what we call the IIJA, which is the Surface Transportation and Infrastructure Bill, ostensibly to stop or to inhibit drunk driving. I don't know one person that is for drunk driving. Doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, you know, somebody in the middle of that. Nobody's for drunk driving. What I think we should be for is punishing those and dealing with those who choose to drive impaired or unwittingly do it. But you don't punish everybody else for the sake of the few that do. I happen to not drink at all. So why should I, not only why should I have, and why should anybody have their privacy monitored and interrupted without a warrant, but also be forced to pay for it? Remember, cars are expensive, and they're, one of the reasons they're expensive is because we have all these systems put on them. I'm a person that uses my mirrors to back up. I've never had an accident backing up or parking, but yet I have to now, if I buy a new car, I don't have an option whether I get a camera in the car or not. And look, maybe I want a new car, but I can't afford the camera and the lane assist and now all these other features that are in the car monitoring me. I'm not allowed to buy that car. My goodness, this is America. We should be able to buy what we want. And if you can't afford that stuff or don't want that stuff, it should be your choice. If you look at a relatively new car today, I don't have one of these, by the way, but I've been in them. They almost all have computer screens up towards the windshield.
Listen to this.
Maybe multiple computer screens that your radio is there, the climate control is there, maybe your map for your navigation is there, and you have to divert your eyes from the road to those screens to you know, you can't do it by feel anymore. In the old days, you could turn a knob on the left for volume or on, and you could turn the knob on the right for the station, and you could do it while continually looking down the road. But more so than ever now, your eyes are diverted from the road, yet the car is going to punish you for looking at those pages. So what it literally wants you to do every time you want to change something is pull over, make a change, 1 degree change in temperature, change the radio station, you name it, and then get back on the road. There's a lot of people that are proficient. I just, you know, they can do a lot of things at the same time. There's some people that can't. And for those who can't, maybe you do need to pull over. But the point is that the EU is already headed down this road where they're going to be punishing people for their driving habits. The car just does it automatically. And I just think that that's a bridge too far for most people. And most people are and have shown themselves to be very proficient at driving and doing other things at the same time. You know, I flew a helicopter in the Army, and not only did you had to fly, you had to communicate, you had to tune the radio, had to monitor the aircraft systems, you had to navigate. A lot of times you were in the cockpit, your eyes were inside and outside at the same time, close to landing, close to takeoff, what have you. Humans can multitask better than most computers. Now, I know AI is probably going to change that, but I don't think we're quite there yet, and I don't think that Americans want to give away their privacy and their right to decide some things for themselves here for the sake of some machine that they're sitting in that that they have chosen to buy and have chosen to operate. And look, I just admit this. I'm a person. We've had what do we call it? Impaired driving incidents within my own family, so we're well aware of the consequences, the pain, and the potential bad catastrophic results of driving impaired, whether it's drinking or something else. We get that, and that's why I think that we are supportive of other measures and enforcement of those measures, but not trying to seek to punish every single person that drives a car for the sake of the few that abuse that. And I would also say that the instance of that, like smoking, has gone way down over the course of time as consumers, as drivers, as citizens become more aware of the consequences, both legal and otherwise, to driving impaired.
Mm-hmm. Pretty wild, isn't it? They talk about the other points, but they don't tell you what they're doing in the meantime while you are in your vehicle. It's really not your vehicle, is it? It's theirs. They're reading your thoughts. They're learning your behavior. Why are they doing this? For AI. It's going to get worse. But get happy, because people are going to have enough, and the plug's going to be pulled. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Who else is going to fight like hell to make sure you're not taken out? Give me an amen in the chat if you can relate with what I just said. Yeah, virtually everybody, right? Really everybody. Everybody's putting in amens, right? Yeah. Amen on that. Jesus help us all. At the end of the day, that's what matters. There you go, right there. Jesus is the man. Oh, hey. Allergy medicine being recalled. You might want to check this one out. This looks like this might be a barn burner right here. Allergy medicine recalled over potentially life-threatening cross-contamination. You see here, it's in Nexstar. Several lots of an over-the-counter medication used for allergies has been recalled after they were potentially contaminated with a different medication. Damn. That could cause life-threatening reactions. According to a notice by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, 4 lots of sodalized hydrochloride tablets have been voluntarily recalled by Unique Pharmaceutical Laboratories over the cross-contamination. Citrazine hydrochloride is used to treat common allergy symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, itchy nose, or throat, or irritated eyes, or to bake meth, or to be like Walter White and a whole bunch of it. You ever watch Breaking Bad? It's kind of like if you ever watch Breaking Bad, and I'll just tell you, where they broke into the warehouse and took out that big ass barrel, him and Jesse, of the stuff that which honestly made it blue. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, If you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, it was a good show. I loved it. Thinking show, which we need to be doing a lot more of instead of being dependent upon technology. You still need to. So I'm not going to move anything. They just deleted Rumble, by the way. I just want to let you know that. They got pissed off at me because I found a loophole in their censorship party. Yeah, there you go on that. Go ahead. It's not Claritin, right? Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on that. I'll end it with this. This will probably shut down the broadcast. I might as well go out in a blaze of glory. Might as well just do it. Here it is. Watch this.
Israel's contributions to America's defense are important.
In a letter backing the National Defense Authorization Act, Netanyahu called it my plan to change Israel's relationship to the U.S. from aid recipient to full partner.
It certainly brings up some issues of sovereignty, but we'll have to work that out later.
Israel has lost support among the American public, so Netanyahu has launched a rebrand. Foreign aid becomes shared development. The Senate and the House are advancing legislation that will merge our military with the IDF. It will force us to inherit responsibility for Israel's war crimes. We subsidize genocide, but Zionists aren't satisfied. We're at a turning point. After this, anybody who questions it can be cut out of the conversation for good. Nearly every member of Congress already answers to their own AIPAC handler.
Everybody but me has an AIPAC babysitter.
Zionist billionaires and aligned donors flood campaigns with jet loads of cash.
Thomas Massie is a disaster for our party.
Zionism has already captured key institutions of American life. You don't need one more podcast to tell you that serving a greater Israel agenda